Day 2020 when it hit the fan.
St. Patrick's Day was roll back the clock 2 years, Tommy. That's when all this stuff started falling apart.
McNulty told WWL's Tommy Tucker the St. Patrick's Day parades were the first big events to be canceled as the shutdowns began. Now, after missing it for 3 years, the parades and block parties are back.
Here's Sean Ross with WWL Sports.
LSU is fired head basketball coach Will Wade. The dismissal comes from allegations of misconduct found by the NCAA, which means Wade won't be getting a big payout from the school. Back in 2019, Wade was suspended from coaching the team in the SEC and NCAA tournaments after a federal wiretap caught Wade talking about giving a recruit money. Assistant Kevin Nickelberry will serve as interim head coach. The Pelicans look to rebound after losing their last 4 games. Top scorer Brandon Ingram and C.J. McCollum have been out most of that time. With his stars out, head coach Willie Green has seen a lack of hustle from the rest of the squad.
It starts with just flat-out effort and game plan discipline. And when you start to lose some of your players, you have your margin for error. Our margin for error is even smaller.
Pels face Houston Rockets tonight. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock. And LSU goes for the sweep against Bethune-Cookman. In yesterday's game, pitcher Ty Floyd fanned 8 hitters, tying a personal best. You can hear today's game right here on WWL. Pre-game coverage starts at 12:30. First pitch at 1. Sean Ross, WWL Sports.
Now, your Garcia Roofing forecast on WWL.
A good Sunday morning, another cool start to our morning. Make sure you're bundling up if you're heading out the door early. Later on this afternoon looks fine. Afternoon highs climbing into the lower 60s, actually rather pleasant. Light winds, dry, and a mix of sunshine and clouds. Tonight looks good too. It won't be as cold as this morning, but it will be rather chilly to kick off our Monday, with overnight lows falling into the upper 40s under partly cloudy skies. As we start off the weekend, Monday looks fantastic. It will be milder than today, climbing into the lower 70s under partly cloudy skies. And we'll have a weak weather system move through the area as we head into our Tuesday, and scattered showers and a few storms are possible, still remaining mild Tuesday afternoon with highs in the lower 70s. From your local weather expert forecast center, I'm WWL TV meteorologist Michelle Morgan.
And I'm Tom Perumian with a reminder we have moved our clocks ahead 1 hour due to daylight savings time. WWL First News.
WWL, the news, talk, sports powerhouse of the Gulf South. It's all things legal with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nico. Underwritten by Nico and Sunseri Law Firm. Join us on the Oakwinard Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870, or connect anytime, anywhere on the Odyssey app. Now, to our Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studios in the heart of New Orleans, here are attorneys Albert Nico and Doug Sunseri.
Are you there? Yeah, I'm here. Can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
My microphone. Test.
Okay, we got you now.
Good morning, all things legal. You got us, Doug?
Barely hear you. Closer to the mic, please.
All right. Hey, Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, all things legal. How we sound in the studio, Doug?
I can't hear your mic. You are like you're off.
Test, test. Is that better?
There you go.
All right. All things legal, Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri. Little, what is this? This is technical difficulties, but you can call us at 260-1870 or talk, on our talk and text line. We are in the midst of what is going on here, Michelle? We'll have to share a microphone until we go to a commercial, but you can give us a call at 260-1870. Albert's not here today. Albert is preparing for his St. Patrick's Day parade, which all our listeners are invited to, which we all, they hadn't had the parade in 3 years.
Huh. I didn't realize
I mean,
that.
because they had, that COVID thing.
They didn't, I thought they had been 2020.
No, it didn't happen. They canceled it because it started around, I think, March 11th.
Oh,
That's when they started the 15.
We got closed down like on the 23rd of March.
Right. That's when they started the 15-day shutdown, just to flatten the curve.
Gotcha.
Just 15 days.
Just 15 days.
That turned out to be.
Kind of like inflation. Just 15 days.
Yeah, just transitory. So it was a transitory shutdown that lasted 2 years, which, we went in town last night and the city's, how can I say? I don't think the city's knowing that it's an endemic yet.
What do you mean?
We're at the tail end of the.
Yeah, no, the city doesn't know.
But, in God's country where we live, I think they have an understanding of that.
We do.
They don't harass people when you go into businesses and say, to show personal information just to get in. So,
that's right.
But anyway, so we are, but just in case you're going to the parade, you're on Metairie Road, and you're a listener of the show, you are invited to Albert's house.
That poor man. You do this every year.
I do this every year. You invite, all you have to do is tell him you're a listener and just walk through the front door. In fact, his street is probably blocked right now because there's the alcohol trucks and the beer trucks that are unloading at his house. And from what I understand, on the Saturday and Sundays before the St. Patrick's Day parade, it takes several hours to unload the booze and alcohol for Albert's party. So, so if you're on the street, there's a little traffic jam, you know what it is, you can just deal with it, take the street over, and you'll be fine. But as again, I invite all the listeners because if you need to go to the bathroom, just walk in. There's a couple of bathrooms. There's one in the front of the house that you can use by the kitchen.
I'm sure Aaron loves this.
And then there's one back in the back by the bar. And if you go back by the bar, you'll see that Albert is ready for prohibition. He's well stocked.
He's well stocked.
So we'll so just enjoy the parade. Also too, if you have a legal problem, just ask Albert right there. He'll explain it to you. He'll take time with you. He'll take, if it takes a half an hour, just sit down with him.
Especially about trees.
Yeah, trees. Yes, you can ask him about his new book. So if it takes about an hour or so, that's no big deal. He doesn't mind, and I think since it's Sunday, he doesn't charge you. So the annual St. Patrick's Day parade at Albert. In fact, some of those liquor stocks go up the week before because they're just anticipating a sale. And so you sell them short after the party. So have a good time, Albert. Enjoy yourself. The listeners enjoy themselves. Just head on over there. Well, you know what the big news yesterday was?
Yes. Well, in fact, we were hearing it as we were getting out of the car downtown. Will Wade.
Yeah, well, we heard it first early in the morning,
Right.
and then we went downtown. We went to the Sanger last night and saw Chicago, they were great.
They were great.
They were
Really
fantastic.
good.
That's why we had a late night last night.
We did.
I mean, very late last night, and we lost an hour.
We did.
But they were fantastic.
They were very good.
But when we went, but you could hear the crowd. They were over here in Will Wade, Will Wade, Will Wade, and it's very interesting that. Well, I guess first of all, LSU had to do it. It's like, if you're in a cargo ship in a storm and you start throwing off all the cargo that's going to sink you. That's similar what LSU had to do. I do have a lot of personal knowledge as to what occurred. I can't tell you how I know, but I do have a lot of personal knowledge that what occurred. And I will tell you what he did. First of all, everyone does it in college basketball. In fact, if you read a book called Black Market, it was about the FBI investigation for college basketball players. And if you go back to Coach Dale Brown in 1987, 88, or he had told me this back when I was at LSU. He had said one day he thought that the college basketball players would strike because of the inequities in the NCAA, the schools, administrations making all this money off the NCAA tournament, March Madness, and everybody was making money but the players. Now they were getting education, but a lot of them really weren't.
What do you mean a lot of them really weren't?
They were not there to be educated. I mean, if you get certain degrees these days, and I'm going to say this, it'll be controversial, they do not help you get a job.
Right.
Certain, and I don't want to name because I want to, but there's certain general type of degrees that you're better off getting a trade. A lot better off going to going to a trade school because you'll learn a skill to make a great living. Whereas the skills in a lot of college curriculums do not help you get a job.
Right.
And so I think they are blue blood universities like Duke. And I don't want to get into the Zion Williamson thing because he's a hometown guy. But there was a similar dynamic that occurred that, Duke University is not going to get sanctioned for. And the only difference that Coach Wade did than most of the other coaches, and I know this, is if they had, for example, they had a running back from Louisiana who wanted to go to an out-of-state school. I'm not going to name names, but some people may know this, and I don't want to get into it. But basically what happened, the coach is very, very well known, and he wanted to go to LSU. But he said, the problem, I can't go to LSU because my parents need a job, and they need a job if I go to this other school, which is several states over. So in the recruiting, in the office of that football coach, he had said, you expressed that, they had that discussion. And all that coach did was give a card of someone and say, okay, well, if that's your issue, just go talk to so-and-so. Maybe he can help you out. And what you have is a level of plausible deniability when that player gets.
Because you're putting layers between yourself.
Right. And what Coach Wade didn't do, what other coaches who have been at it a lot longer than Coach Wade, is put those levels of, as you state,
layers of protection.
Layers of protection between you. So, in other words, you wouldn't have direct contact.
It's kind of when we do, LLCs, protection of LLCs.
Right. Well, that's right. But basically, you'd have another 2 or 3 levels between what actually occurred. And look, they have a whole system where you have the AAU coaches and AAU, shoe companies. They pay the players starting at 15 or 16. The colleges give money to the shoe companies and pay for their leagues. There's a whole economic system. And until NIL, most of it had to be done under the table. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, because it's like, I always tell people, if you go speeding at 80 miles an hour, you can't use it as a defense that everybody else was speeding if you get caught. And that would be, his defense, but it just is what it is. But I think him being young, he didn't know how to insulate himself on how to play the game.
That's not one of the classes.
No, it's not. Well, there is. I mean, I think he was just probably more exuberant and wanted to get things done.
Let's break.
But it's basically it's just it's an interesting subject, and LSU may have something to deal with. I suspect their basketball program will hit rock bottom the next couple of years until with the sanctions, and they're going to be heavily sanctioned, and it's going to be difficult. And the other thing is they would rather sacrifice basketball to protect football, which I think they want to do also, to just get the NCAA out of its hair. But I think the NCAA may not exist in a couple of years anyway.
Because of the NIL.
And just a lot of things. I mean, the exploitation they complain of the players, their exploitation is as much as in a different fashion. So I think they're maybe out of there. All right, let's go to break. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, All Things Legal. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
WWL is your home for LSU baseball. Catch the Tigers.
Okay, if we could get your mic a little bit hotter, please.
Pregame 12:30, first pitch 1 o'clock on WWL, AMFM.com, and the Odyssey app.
Bobby Hebert here. I have a boat, and I love my boat.
And we have Justin on the phone.
At the house, and launching it always ended in an argument. Now my wife loves our boat since we began storing it at Seabrook Harbor Marine. Jeff and his brother David run Seabrook. Jeff, tell me about your stackable storage.
Well, Bobby, we could store 200 boats in our 38,000 square foot dry stack building. Just give Seabrook Harbor a call, and your boat will be in the water ready for you.
And you don't have to move your boat if a storm comes.
That's right, because we're inside the levee protection system. Seabrook Harbor survived Katrina, and all of our boats were perfect.
I'm really impressed with your yacht repair yard. Seabrook is probably the best on the entire Gulf Coast.
Well, thanks, Bobby.
Hello.
From outboard repairs to bottom jobs to complete refits. Essentially, if it's legal, ethical, and it floats, we'll do it.
Tell us about all the other things you have.
In addition to our dry stack and repair yard, we have 30
I can't hear you.
Fuel dock, ice, showers, and fish cleaning stations.
Seabrook Harbor Marine on France Road on the Industrial Waterway, just a half a mile from the
Still
lake.
can't hear you.
Online at SeabrookHarborMarine.com.
One of the things I love about betting my
Still can't hear you.
I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. Christian Garrick here for FanDuel Sportsbook. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine prop bets from multiple games and now even more multiple sports. It's called Same Game Parlay.
Can't hear you.
And you can only find them on FanDuel. Combine NBA player
Can't hear
props
you.
love with your favorite NHL scores for a chance to score an even bigger payout. If you don't want to build your own Same Game Parlay, check out their popular Same Game Parlays section. When you can join the bets other users are jumping on.
I can barely hear you.
14,000 customers won a total of $1.1 million during the Bucks at Lakers game. And if you're new to FanDuel, sign up with the promo code Garrick to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Make every moment more and download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today. Just use promo code Garrick, G-A-R-I-C, so they know I sent you.
21 plus and present in Louisiana. Permitted parishes only. New users only. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bet $5. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-770-STOP.
So how many adjusters has your insurance company assigned to your Hurricane Ida claim? 3? 4?
Can't hear you.
Has your adjuster stopped returning your calls? How many of your emails have been ignored? If this all sounds too familiar, then maybe it's time for you to take the next step. This is Albert Nico with the Nico and Sunseri Law Firm in Metairie. You've paid homeowners insurance premiums for years.
Can't hear you.
To be paid what you're entitled to. When you finally had enough, call me, Albert Nico, at 504-837-13.
One of the mics is working.
Get your claim paid.
If you have Medicare, you deserve the best care and coverage available. But how do you know?
Michelle is coming through, but you aren't.
Check their Medicare star rating. The higher the stars, the better the quality. And People's Health has earned Medicare's highest rating, 5 out of 5 stars for 2022. Don't take my word for it. Take Medicare's. To learn more about People's Health Medicare plans, call 1-855-821-2666 or visit peopleshealth.com.
Hey, this is the last spot. It's a minute.
Ever wanted to learn a new language, like French or Spanish, or even Norwegian, but thought it'd be too difficult or time-consuming? If so, it's time to try Babbel. Babbel lets you customize how and when you learn. Quick 10-minute lessons on words,
Siesta.
Babbola, phrases and grammar,
La oss ta en kaffe.
to games that keep it exciting. Listen to podcasts on the go or take live online classes with the real teacher.
Hola clase, ¿cómo están?
It's really up to you. In no time, chatting about real-life topics will feel, well, effortless. Go ahead, see where Babbel takes you. Ah, Paris. More ways to explore.
Here we go.
More ways to learn. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
All things legal with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nico on WWL and Odyssey Station. Connect now on the Oak Hart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, all things legal. Albert is preparing for his St. Patrick's yearly St. Patrick's Gala, which he hadn't had in 3 years, since 2019. So
It's gonna be a cold parade.
We have Justin on the phone.
It'll be nice. Well, I was thinking about this because he probably has 2 years of alcohol stored up from missing the last two. So he's gonna have a blowout. All right, let's go to phone lines. Let's go to Justin. Hey, Justin, you're on All Things Legal with Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri. Justin.
Hi, Michelle and Doug.
Hey, Justin,
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
I'm doing well. I'm getting through this cold weather, but everything's fine. First of all, your producer is Doug Christian, right?
That's him.
I want to give a shout out for his Creole radio because I've listened to it. He has a great radio station. So shout out to Doug for emailing me and doing the stuff. It's a great radio station. So thanks for that. I know this is a legal show, but I have a love question. Is that okay?
Yeah. Well, love and legal have some intersection there.
That's what I've heard. And I'm glad Michelle's here because I love a female perspective.
Okay.
The story is about a year ago, I met my neighbor across the street, and she came up to me asking me if I was a drummer because she hears my drums. I heard her voice, saw her face, and I fell in love with her immediately. And she's a single mother with 2 children. She's got a house to take care of. She's got some job she does that she's doing all day long. And I'm not going to go out with anybody but her. And I don't know what to do because she won't even talk to me. I can't understand it. I've never said anything bad to her. I've been nice and sweet to her. She knows I'm watching out for her house. So I look out for her. I've seen like a couple of people go on her property. I've chased them off. But I don't know what to do. I need some advice, please.
Dr. Laura advice. All right.
Oh, God.
Let's see. So you need advice? Yeah. Michelle's actually has no ability to flirt.
No, I don't.
But so we might have to come to me now. And
Come on, you guys have been married for how long now?
We're almost 10 years now. Let's see.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you. What to do? You know what? I would find out something that she needs to get done, or like if you see something on her lawn or something, bring in her garbage cans or something to have some type of interaction. In other words, a positive interaction. You know, if she left.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No,
I don't want to go on her property.
No, okay. Well,
without her permission.
But that's okay. I mean, like if her garbage cans were out or near her street, and what you do is you take the garbage cans, you bring them by, and say, "Look, knock on the door." I say, "Look, the garbage cans were rolling in the street. I didn't want anything to happen to them, so I just put them right here." And then you start a communication. So I would be opportunistic to look for something to have a positive interaction with her. and start a conversation.
Well, she definitely needs something. She's a master gardener. I see she has a beautiful garden.
Okay, there you go.
And
there
I would love.
Bring her.
Well, I would love for her to invite me over to help her because she's doing it by herself.
Well, no, well,
and
okay, is there? I don't know anything about gardening.
Not a thing.
Not a thing. Michelle attests.
I do.
But is there some tool that you could that's like inexpensive that would be helpful to her? Like looking at her garden that she would need, like a little tool or some kind of maybe a plant, a spade, yeah, something like that.
A shovel
or something, and something that would be helpful to her gardening. Say, hey, you got a beautiful garden there. I thought this might be helpful to it. And I just wanted to let you know you got a nice garden there, and you do a great job.
See, that's my idea. Is that she has all the tools she needs, and I have tools too. I've been gardening since my mother, when I was little, and what I think she needs is physical help. She needs someone to carry the bags, dump the dirt, dig it up.
Have you offered?
I don't.
No, I haven't.
I don't think you can off the bat. I think you got to get into the conversation about gardening and then offer. You can't knock on the door and
I say go to the kids with cookies.
No, you can't cookie.
I don't know.
Let me tell you something. I'm terrified of her. I'm terrified.
Well,
and she thinks.
You see, you got to do gardening. You see, when I started, like Michelle was an attorney, and she needed to know Medicaid planning. And so I gave her a book. Yeah.
Yeah. How romantic was that?
Yeah, I gave her a Medicaid book, but I knew I'd strike up a conversation, and then you could go from there.
Well, I'm wondering if, excuse me, I've written her a couple times, and letters are like the old school romance kind of thing.
Have you mailed?
But she's made it kind of clear that has no room for romance right now, and I understand that. I'm not going to be pushy about it. But I really like her. Well, I mean, that's the only reason why I'm not going to any St. Patty's Day parades, which I used to go for many years. I cannot tell you how many times I went down to Parasols. Oh my God! But I don't want to go out alone, and she's the only one I want to go out with. So I got to find some kind of not really icebreaker because she already knows who I am.
That's what you need.
She's just busy.
Well, you can't.
I know I'm making. I know.
Okay, but
I know this is way off the legal standpoint.
But you see, men put off a romantic scent to them. In other words, like they know that a lady, you want like maybe more than friendship. You're going to have to turn that off and make you say, I'm okay with being friends, and let it go from there. So she'll feel safe.
Absolutely. That's what I told her. So I just want to be friends.
Right. You can't tell her. She's got to sense that in you. She's got to sense that this is no obligation thing. This is, it's okay. But you got to give her time to feel comfortable. What's that?
Right. Well, I have not had time to do that. She's so busy. And I offered to, this was about a year. I haven't talked to her about a year now. But they'll tell you how painful this love is. Anyway, I offered to go out for coffee. Now, I wasn't offering her hand in marriage. I wasn't going to do anything like that. I just want to get to know who she was. I liked her. And she immediately turned off like a faucet. Why does it always happen to me?
You got to lie low and be cool. And just take little opportunities, but don't try to
Yeah, because the coffee was like a prelude.
Don't be pushy.
Don't be
coffee
pushy.
was a prelude to a date.
We're gonna need a break.
Yeah, don't be pushy.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, Michelle. What? A prelude to what?
Coffee is a prelude to a date. Talking to
See,
somebody
that's what
across
someone
the street.
told me. Just because I'm a male and she's a female, if I ask her out for coffee, that's officially a date?
No, it's like a prelude to a date, though. It's like a
rather
than just getting to know somebody as a neighbor.
It's like an exhibition game at for the New Orleans Saints.
It always goes back to football.
It's not a real game, but it's an exhibition game. Preseason. It's like a preseason game.
Love is complicated. I can tell you that, and I bet you two know about that too. Well, I'm going to go give Albert my best and tell him not to drink too much green beer, please.
Well, yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to waste my breath telling him that. No. All right. All right, Justin. Good talk
Thanks,
to you.
Jesse.
Oh,
Good
Take care, Doug and Michelle. Bye.
Are we a law show or what?
I don't know. Maybe
We
they know
got
the
a lot
show
of
we've been watching.
dimension. You do family law. All right, well, let's go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, All Things Legal. We'll be right back. I think it's All Things Legal. We'll be right back.
It's been a week.
The world is saying to Russia, stop these attacks immediately.
Okay, want to try it again?
Revenue is selling oil and gas. President Biden banned all imports of Russian oil.
Price of the gas at the pump in America is going to go.
That could very well be. You're going to have to raise the gain on the mic that you have, please.
Back. Stay with us throughout the weekend.
Ready to begin their attack on Kyiv. They intend to use chemical weapons.
And as the new week begins,
This is outright terror.
WWL, the news talk sports leader.
Bobby Aber, KG Cannon here. One of the things I love about
Have you swapped the mics one for another?
new player props are game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook?
Okay, if you could raise the gain on that particular mic, that would be great.
Game Parlay Plus, and you can only find them on.
You could turn up the volume on that mic. Should be a little bit better.
An even bigger payout. If you don't want to build your own same game parlay, check out their popular same game parlay section, where you can join the bets other users are jumping on. For instance, just look last month, over 14,000 customers won a total of $1.1 million during the Bucks at Lakers game.
It sounds better, yeah.
Sign up with the promo code ABEAR. That's HEBERT to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today. Just use the promo code ABEAR. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WWL Radio.
21 plus and present in Louisiana. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP. WWL is proudly sponsored by Anajar and Levine Hurricane Attorneys. Is your claim taking too long?
We may be able to help.
Call 504-470-0000. Attorney Bruce Spencer. Office Mentory, LA 2212-758.
You like a company that really stands behind its product? Well, listen to what Diamonds Direct does. Let's say you buy a diamond today for $6,000, but later on you want to trade up to a larger diamond or maybe a different shape. Diamonds Direct will give you $6,600 towards the new diamond. That's a guaranteed 10% appreciation. Let me say it again. You paid $6,000 originally, but Diamonds Direct pays you $6,600 for that same diamond when you upgrade. 10% more for the same diamond. It's Diamonds Direct's 110% upgrade guarantee, and it applies to diamond pendants and diamond stud earrings as well. You get the extra 10% on a $3,000 diamond or a $30,000 diamond. Doesn't matter. No strings attached either. You can get the 110% trade-up value regardless of the cost of the new diamond, and you can upgrade as many times as you like. Now that's peace of mind, and that's a company that believes in its product. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our
Okay, the last spot in the set here is Duck, Duck, Go.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here for my friends at the Bet River Sportsbook. They are your sports betting home for the college basketball tournament from tip-off to the final buzzer. Bet River is offering a variety of live in-game bets, player props, and same-game parlays all tournament long. You can also log in on game days to see all the unique profit boosts and special promotions that are waiting for you. Check it out at betrivers.com or via the Bet Rivers app. Must be 21 and located in Louisiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP, 1-877-770-STOP.
Hey y'all, spring's on the way and you're ready to celebrate. Hit the road and find a festival. March 11th through 13th, Independent Sicilian Heritage Festival. March 12th through 13th, Wanderfest in New Orleans and Los Ileños Fiesta in Chalmette. March 12th, Spring Street Festival in New Roads and Celtic Bayou Festival in Lafayette. March 17th through 20th, Louisiana Crawfish Festival in Chalmette. So make your plans to laissez-les bon temps rouler.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Plan your road trip at LouisianaIsATrip.com.
You can say goodbye to the guesswork. We make it easy as 1, 2, 3. When you come by Papa's Camper City for a trailer or RV, make a quick short drive to Picayune for a downright down-home feel. Great service, great price, now isn't that nice? You're gonna love the way we deal. Papa's Camper City in Picayune. You're gonna love the way we deal. That's a good RV, Papa.
Brandon Hawley here. Premium Windows. Professionally measured, professionally installed. ReliefWindows.com.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers with Windows 11 Pro and get an easy start to your workday. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast, free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Jackson Hewitt needs you to know 3 things about filing taxes this year. 1. There are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table. 2. You have to file for them to make sure you get the right amount. 3. A Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help track down every credit you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, going to school, and so much more. You don't want to miss out on thousands.
Hey, Doug.
Jackson Hewitt knows that.
Yes.
Discover
Try another
thousands in tax credits and get your biggest refund.
Okay, we're going live here in just a few seconds.
I feel like I'm being haunted by a pair of headphones.
Right after this.
Everywhere I go is a creepy ad for headphones I looked at one time. I hate feeling like I'm being watched. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy with DuckDuckGo.
All things legal on WWL. Consult with Nico and Sunseri now on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870. And don't forget to rewind on the Odyssey app.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, all things legal. We didn't talk any law. We talked a little bit of Will Wade sort of has a legal component to it.
I don't really think we've talked any law.
No, we haven't. So we'll when you're on, you're like the family law guru.
Okay.
So we've been talking about hurricanes for the last 6 months, hurricane claims, and dealing with a couple of hundred of those already. So we've not neglected, but we hadn't talked about a lot about a family law and those type of issues. So you give us a call, 260-1870 at the Oakland Heart Talk and Text line, and we'll be glad to answer any questions. And today's like daylight savings time throws everybody off.
It does.
I mean, really, really does.
Especially when you lose an hour of sleep.
Right. When you gain an hour, it's pretty good. But there's I remember when I was at St. Angelo Marisi and going to Mass, because we used to have 7 o'clock, 8:30, 9:45, 11, 12:15, and 5:30 on Sundays. And then 4 o'clock and 5:30 on Saturdays. A lot of Masses. And I remember on daylight savings time when they had that, people would be walking in the middle of Mass because they didn't, the time, because it didn't automatic, like at least your cell phone.
Yeah, they automatically go.
But, a lot of times people just
clocks
forgot.
in the house are all wrong right
And there was a dilemma, because if you got there, after the gospel, is it going to count?
Because God's up there.
Well, no, I'm just saying, is it going to count? Is for Sunday Mass, or do you had to go to the half and then you had to stay for the next one?
Don't even go there.
Don't even go to that.
Come for what?
But I do remember that. So it sort of messes everything up. So, but as far as, I guess we'll talk a little bit about hurricane claims, because that is
what is
that's been predominant. It's very interesting. Christmas. It's usually at Christmas, everybody together. You have the, you get together, but you often talk about the topic of the day, the cultural phenomenon of the day, whatever it may be. And, during the Christmas parties, it seemed like everybody was talking about the hurricane claims. And, I had a good adjuster, everything's going well, or, man, I can't even get them on the phone, and everywhere in between. But it sort of has been a common theme at this point. But I'm sort of sensing we're about 7 months out, almost six and a half months out. And I think there's two aspects. Either your claim's starting to get resolved, you don't have the emotional capacity to deal with it anymore, or you feel like you just banging your head against the wall and nothing's going to happen. I think those are the three.
Is that how you're feeling, like when you're talking to people?
Yeah, and I think a lot of the homeowners, are not litigious. They work hard, own a house, pay taxes, try to do the right thing, and their first choice isn't to sue someone.
I'm just always amazed that people still don't
I have
understand
Heidi on the phone with an insurance question.
how that they have to prove their own damages and that they can use their own adjuster. I have people ask me that all the time.
Yeah. And I think part of it's just learning the process, because it's something you may go through only once in your lifetime. Or if you're in New Orleans, it's the second time in 17 years.
Right.
And a lot of people who didn't own a house for Katrina now own a house, and they're dealing with it for the first time. So it's just they honestly want to try to resolve the claim. I mean, they're not, hey, I'm gonna get a lawyer on you, and I think that's appropriate, and I appreciate that, because but I think they're at the point to say, the last thing I want to do is call a lawyer. Right. Last thing I wanted to do, but I just have no choice. And that's what I sense. Now the claims that get resolved, we don't hear about for the most part. So we're not saying there's probably a lot of who's done a very good job. Claims adjusters work very hard, been very fair, and we're the complaint department at a department store.
Right.
So, all right, let's go to phone lines. Let's go to Heidi. Heidi, you and All Things Legal with Doug Sunseri, Michelle Sunseri.
Hey, Doug and Michelle. Good morning. How are y'all?
Good.
Good. A simple question. All of the quotes I've been getting from these contractors from the Ida claim, they're asking for us to put down a deposit prior to them performing the work, which I've never done in the past. So how do y'all feel about that?
Well, they do need a deposit
for materials.
Right? Yeah, for materials and to get started. But I would start at, no more than 10 or 20%. 20% is probably standard. But nothing more than 20%. In fact, you never let them get ahead of you, the contractors. In other words, you want to do what is called progress payments. And you maybe even want the contractor to reflect that. In other words, if the contractor's done X amount of work, then you'll pay him, 40% of the work, you pay him 40%. The problem where homeowners get in trouble is when the pay gets ahead of the work. So if you paid for 80% of the work and only 40% of it's done, then that's when you have problems, because the financial incentive for some contractors aren't there to come out, and it creates a lot of problems. So I think 20% is fair, between 10 and 20%. All right.
Yeah, that's great. That answers my question. Thank y'all.
Okay, thank you. I think a second phase of this, and we're not having this as much as we did for Katrina, is people who had, and every time we've had a problem recently is because the homeowner got ahead on the payments. Someone who'd never been through this before, and they say we need 50% up front. Or sometimes they had one lady 75% up front.
Wow.
And then once they have those type of contractors, they're probably not an ethical thing to do. So they've already spent the money probably on other jobs. And so the financial incentive is not to come back. And so a lot of the issues I'm having, or people who call us are saying, I paid 50%, they've only done 20% of the work and they won't come back.
Well, those must be people that are not having insurance. I mean, because a lot of times your mortgage company is holding it and is releasing it.
And that's
as the work is done, and as they are inspecting it and seeing that the work is done, and then they pay the contractor.
Absolutely. And that's why the mortgage companies do serve a purpose in doing that a lot of times, even though it's very. But I'm also suing mortgage companies because they won't
release the funds,
release any of the funds,
right?
And so
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. So you have a lot of homeowners, or after they settle, the next fight is with the mortgage company,
right?
And the mortgage company, basically, in your loan documents, they state that if you have a loss, they have the right to keep an escrow account it's like a loss draft account, and they get to verify that the repairs are being done, because the security for that loan is the house.
Right, and they have an interest in having the house be
right. Because after Katrina, now we've had a lot of situations where the homeowners would collect the money and then not repair the house, walk away from the house, and then let it go to foreclosure.
Right.
And so, and then you had foreclosure with impaired security, and the mortgage company never did collect. I mean, that happened on occasion, and that's what they're trying to protect against. But the problem is, like, if you have these out-of-state mortgage companies, you're not dealing with one person. Every time you call, you get a different person. They look up on their computer and their log, and you have to start all over
again.
Because I used to tell for Katrina, they had a lot of people who still had local loans. So I'd say, go to branch, whatever branch,
Right.
Chase Bank, whatever, and I would say, sort of throw a little bit of a fit in the lobby, not a big fit, but just be dissatisfied, and they'll say, come get a glass of water, come sit down, let's take care of your problem here. So, all right, let's go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, all things legal. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
Find podcasts for
Doug.
your passions on Odyssey.
Like the documentary series Love Thy Neighbor.
Okay, that sounds good. I have Fred on the phone, and he is a contractor. He lives in Covington. He would like a few words.
Or the 11th.
You should have in the neighborhood of about 5 minutes before the top of the hour.
Starring Kate Mara and Adam
What's the
Scott.
contractor's
Maybe it's
name?
not a whodunit.
Fred.
All along, the real mystery is why.
Find all the podcasts that matter to
I have
you
another
in a
mic.
universe
I'm
of
gonna try
audio.
it.
Odyssey.
Kenny Mayne here with news that Caesar actually prefers
I'm
calling
sorry, what was that?
baby toast. Interesting. Download
Yes.
the
I'm gonna
Caesar
try another
Sportsbook
mic.
app
I have
now and
another
sign up with promo code Radio
Okay.
Bet $50 and new users get a $250 Uber Eats gift card.
Must be 21 and physically present in Louisiana. Permit pending in Horseshoe Bossier City. Not available in prohibited parishes. New customers with eligible promo code only. Real money wages only if they have minimum amounts of -200. $250 gift card redemption code accepts to redeem gift card will be sent via email within 72 hours. Uber gift card terms and conditions apply. See Caesar.com/promo for full terms. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP.
In the heart of the city, a hero.
Come on.
Doug, can you hear that new
And
mic?
a villain.
I haven't heard. I can just hear you, Michelle.
Okay.
A Nissan sales event ad. Wait, what? Starring the Nissan Rogue.
Oh, nice.
And featuring more power than a CR-V.
See ya.
You won't want to miss any of the action at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event.
Right now, get 0.9% APR financing for up to 72 months on 14 models. Availability is limited, so contact your local dealer for inventory information and shop NissanUSA.com today before these offers get away. Comparison based on 2022 Nissan Rogue S versus 2022 Honda CR-V base models compared for well-qualified buyers. Subject to NMAC credit approval. Must take purchase from new dealer stock. See dealer for financing details. Dealer sets actual price. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details, list of eligible models, and important safety information. Offers end 3/31/22.
Attention, BetMGM customers. Have a friend who loves sports as much as you do? Here's a chance for both of you to earn a $50 bonus when they sign up through BetMGM's Refer a Friend program. Just sign into your BetMGM account and click on to the Refer a Friend program to send your friend a message inviting them to register a new account in the same state you use BetMGM in. Once your friend signs up and makes a deposit, they'll receive a $50 bonus. And once your friend places a bet with their bonus and the wager is settled, you'll receive a $50 bonus as well. Share the excitement of BetMGM and get a $50 bonus. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions.
Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Louisiana only. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable site credit. Site credit expires in 30 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 in partnership with Samstown Shreveport Casino.
Elise and Carl needed a
Okay,
small
this
business
is the
loan
last
fast
spot.
or
It's
order more quickly
60.
for their bakery. Elise suggested OnDeck.com, but instead Carl called
Lone Falcon!
Wait, no.
Bad Falcon, healed! Lone Falcon, why?
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. OnDeck, the online lender that makes it easy to apply in minutes and, if approved, get your loan as soon as the same day. With lines of credit up to $100,000 and term loans up to $250,000, OnDeck lets you choose the loan that's right for your business. As America's largest online small business lender, OnDeck has funded over $14 billion to businesses like yours, so you can borrow with confidence and get your loan fast. Go to OnDeck.com. Your loan is on deck. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank, a Utah Chartered Industrial Bank member FDIC. Limited eligibility for same-day funding. OnDeck does not lend in every state. All loans subject to lender approval.
All things legal on WWL-AMFM.com and the Odyssey app. Connect with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nico on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, All Things Legal. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Fred. He's a contractor. Hey, Fred, you on All Things Legal. How can we help you?
How you doing, young man? Just was listening to your show and listening to various comments. I am a contractor, 5-star rated with the Business Bureau, et cetera, et cetera. Used to build custom homes, but now mainly everything is remodeling. But I personally hate to take storm work, but occasionally we do.
Right.
And the nightmares that I hear from various customers that I go out to do estimates for are unbelievable in many cases, and it's generally the elderly being taken advantage of, and I hate to see this. But you was talking about a deposit. Yes, a contractor definitely needs to have a deposit. That's just like a guarantee, hey, we're going to get paid kind of deal, because he does have a lot of time. What I'm dealing with right now, a lot of, and these things are not factored into estimates, et cetera, particularly from insurance companies, is when I go out to look at something, a lot of these insurance companies, I'm having to make multiple trips back out. Mm-hmm. I'm having to meet them second, third time. I'm having to rewrite the estimate 4 or 5 times. So that free estimate ends up costing me about $500 on a gamble that I may not even get to work.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I'm seeing this over and over and over. I've done in the last 2 months. I've done this repeatedly. Actually, I was out yesterday with that same situation. This is probably about the 7th time on this particular one. This gentleman owns 3 homes, couldn't get nobody out, et cetera, et cetera. Then his insurance company's balking on everything. So he's needing professional opinion. I will give you an example. This is just a off-the-wall example. Let's say you had a roof leak and you've got a
3 minutes
2 foot by 2 foot area of sheetrock damage and insulation damage, and the insurance company factors it by square foot on some guy sitting 800 miles away on a computer in his house doing this and sending it in, instead of being hands-on like I do on a daily basis. It's, well, we're going to give you $45 for this by the square foot.
Right.
Okay, for this whole little deal. Well, that's something that costs the contractor $200 or $300, because you got setup time, you got cleanup time, you got to take it in, you got to take it out, you got to set up 2 or 3 different times, because you've got to take the sheetrock out, clean it up, spray stuff, allow that to dry. You've got to go back and texture all this after it's been floated out. Then you've got to paint it, all this, and they're wanting to pay you $45, $50 for something that, on a normal basis, you would get $350 for. And that's just a little example of how the insurance company versus the contractor, what he really has to deal with to be able to make a living. I have never in my lifetime priced gouged.
Yeah, a minute and a half.
I've definitely seen that a lot, but I see many people in desperation hiring just anybody to do their work, because they're so anxious to get their home. And I would easily say that over 65% of the people here working are unlicensed and uninsured.
That's what I was about to say, because it's an unfair disadvantage for you guys who do it right, because you get undocumented workers, uninsured, without insurance and without licensing, doing the work, and you can't compete with that price-wise.
And you guys being legal, you can look at this. I know of this situation happening to another contractor in Slidell a couple of years ago. It's been under the assumption that, hey, I have got insurance. I've got workman's comp. I got liability insurance. Right. Well, I bring in this subcontractor, and he don't have insurance, but my insurance is going to cover him.
Right,
well,
Fred, we got about 10 seconds left. Right, if you can wrap it up real quick.
If you don't have him documented on your insurance, he is not covered. So if he falls, gets hurt, etc., you've got a problem.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the call, Fred. Stay tuned for hour number 2. We're going to national news, local news. We'll be back for hour number 2 and all things legal. See you in about 10 minutes.
home of the Saints and LSU. WWL New Orleans, WWL FM and HD1 Kenner New Orleans, and Odyssey Station.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Linda Kenyon in Washington. A Russian air attack has come as close to Poland as any previous attacks. Here's CBS's Steve Futterman at the Poland-Ukraine border.
The missile attack took place at a military base just 15 to 20 miles from the Poland border. 30 rockets were fired at the facility in Yavoriv. At least 35 people were killed, more than 130 others injured, some of them quite seriously. The base has been used recently as a hub for weapon shipments. In the past, it's also been used as a training center, often with instructors from the U.S. and other NATO nations. The attack comes one day after Russia said weapon shipments from the West were legitimate targets.
I'm Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. This and this. Some 1,300 Ukrainian soldiers have fallen fighting their invaders. Teenagers are getting guns and 3 days military training.
I learned how to shoot and act in the battle.
Fighting a blazing oil tanker in the central city of Dnipro, the latest to come under Russian bombardments. Russian forces continue to encircle the capital, Kyiv, which is bracing for an attack. That powerful late winter storm that stretched from the Gulf Coast all the way up through New England isn't done with us yet.
Bitterly cold temperatures for most of the eastern, let's call it third of the country, all the way down to Florida, record lows, flirting with even the freezing mark as far south as Tampa.
CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson. A deadline is looming for thousands of Chicago City workers to get their COVID vaccines.
As of March 8th, 3,575 city workers are still unvaccinated. Over 2,700 of those are in the Chicago Police Department, 327 in the Fire Department.
WBBM-TV's Sabrina Franza says those who haven't gotten at least one dose of the vaccine by tomorrow won't get a paycheck. A check of its own employees has found violent extremists among the ranks in the Department of Homeland Security.
After nearly 11 months, this scan of DHS's more than 250,000 employees uncovered 4 incidents of what was called active participation or support for violent extremist activity. That's since 2019.
CBS's Nicole Skanga says one of the allegations is against a Coast Guard lieutenant accused of compiling a hit list of Democrats and media personalities. A Colorado House committee has advanced a Democrat-sponsored bill to add the right to abortion to state law. The bill follows recent efforts in other states to limit access to abortion.
Just because we have the wins in the House and the Senate here doesn't mean there's not danger on the national level.
And this bill now heads to the full House in Colorado. This is CBS News.
Get CBS News Radio on the Odyssey app. All the audio that matters to you is on Odyssey. News, music, sports, and podcasts. Download the Odyssey app today.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
Michelle, where'd you put that microphone? That microphone that you pulled out?
WWL First News. I'm Tom Perumian on your official weather station, WWL AM, FM, and .com.
Another cold start to our morning. Bundle up if you're heading out this morning, and we're looking actually really nice as we head into the afternoon hours. Light winds, a mix of sunshine and clouds through the morning and the afternoon hours, and daytime highs climbing into the lower 60s.
Your local weather expert, WWL TV meteorologist, Michelle Morgan. A search is underway off Mexico for a man who jumped from a cruise ship out of New Orleans. WWL TV's Mike McDaniel reports.
And there's a search this morning near the Mexican coast.
where a man jumped off a cruise ship that was set to arrive in New Orleans today. This happened Friday on the Norwegian breakaway cruise ship. Authorities were notified immediately and a search began, but the man has not been found. The cruise line did release a statement reading, quote, "Our thoughts and prayers are with the individual's loved ones during this difficult time." The ship is expected to arrive back in New Orleans today. And this is the second person to jump from a New Orleans-based cruise ship this year. A woman jumped from the Carnival Valor back in February after being detained by security for a disturbance at the swimming pool. She also has not been found.
Fire lays waste to an apartment building in New Orleans East.
Those living in one New Orleans East apartment building are without a home after a large fire, and this isn't the first fire at this complex this year. It began just before 2 at the Carmel Brook Apartments on I-10 Service Road. We're told fire was seen on the 3rd floor of Building 6, and firefighters had to call in a second crew to keep it from spreading to nearby buildings. Firefighters were able to help one person and a dog evacuate. The building is considered a total loss, and the cause is still being investigated. These apartments were also the site of 2 other fires this year, one on January 31st, another on February 9th.
WWL-TV's Devin Bartolotta. Here's Sean Ross with WWL Sports.
The Saints haven't made a splash in free agency just yet. While the black and gold could be a landing spot for Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, Cajun Cannon Bobby Hebert says New Orleans would be a good fit.
It would be attractive to the Texans to go to the Saints and say versus the Steelers or the Colts because it's NFC versus AFC.
Watson would have to waive his no-trade clause for him to join another team. A bit of an odd selection Sunday for LSU basketball. Head coach Will Wade was fired with cause yesterday after allegations of misconduct were found by the NCAA. Assistant Kevin Nickelberry will be the interim coach for the Tigers in the NCAA tournament. LSU is expected to be a 6th seed. And it could be brooms again at Alex Box. LSU looking for their second series sweep of the season today against Bethune-Cookman. Catch it here on WWL. Pre-game coverage starts at 12:30. First pitch at 1 o'clock. Sean Ross, WWL Sports.
Now, your Garcia Roofing forecast on WWL.
Good Sunday morning. We are starting off cold, but with lighter winds. So we're not really dealing with a wind chill, but still chilly if you're heading out. Later on this afternoon looks great. We'll see our afternoon highs in the lower 60s, rather pleasant, especially under the sunshine. And we'll see a mix of sun and clouds through the morning and the afternoon hours. Tonight looks good too. It will be a chilly start to our morning, but not nearly as cold as this morning. We'll see our overnight lows fall into the upper 40s. Now, Monday afternoon, a mix of sunshine and clouds, light winds, and highs in the lower 70s. So Monday is off to a great start. Now, on Tuesday, we'll have an upper level disturbance move through the area, and that's going to increase our chances for scattered showers and storms. Have the rain gear nearby, still remaining mild with highs in the lower 70s. From your local Weather Expert Forecast Center, I'm WWL-TV meteorologist Michelle Morgan.
And I'm Tom Perumian, WWL First News.
From WWL, the news, talk, sports powerhouse of the Gulf South, it's All Things Legal with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nico. Underwritten by Nico and Sunseri Law Firm. Join us on the Oakwinard Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870, or connect anytime, anywhere on the Odyssey app. Now, to our Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studios in the heart of New Orleans, here are attorneys Albert Nico and Doug Sunseri.
Hey, we're back. Hour number 2, Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, All Things Legal. We're on till 10 o'clock. WWL is your home of LSU baseball, as you know, because I'm always listening to it.
I know.
The Tigers take on Bethune-Cookman Wildcats today at home at the box, Alex Box. Pre-game 12:30, first pitch 1 o'clock. Hear it all on WWL AM, FM, and .com and the Odyssey app. So the Tigers. Now we were making vacation plans.
I know.
Because of summer, and we're this year, since all the kids are gone, basically an empty nest. We're going to keep the 2 weeks open in June. I'm not even going to schedule any court stuff. I'm going to keep it open so Omaha will be open. I've never been to Omaha for the College World Series. But defense and pitching will keep us from going to Omaha.
Oh, no. So I'm losing vacation?
Well, no. I mean, if they got to get their defense in order and their number one pitcher money Remember the big guy? He was scruffy last year.
Yeah.
You used to tell him his mom's got to clean him up.
Yeah.
Well, he did clean up. He did. He did. He cut his hair.
Found him a razor?
Yeah, somebody found him a razor.
And some scissors.
And some scissors. He's hurt. He hurt his arm, so we don't know what's going on with that. So we need pitching and defense. They can hit. They're great hitters. But you need pitching in the SEC. You need it all. You do need it all to. It's actually almost as hard to win the SEC as the College World Series. That's how good the SEC is. So we'll see. But they got some great hitters. I mean, they got superstar hitters.
So we're going to go into any games this year?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I would like to go to Nashville. They play in Vanderbilt, which would be good to take a road trip to watch them play Vanderbilt and go to Nashville.
Okay.
I've never been to Nashville.
Oh, you haven't? No.
I've
been for volleyball.
I heard it's great. It's a great town. It's like got great music. It's like a clean New Orleans.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A little bit more country.
Country and clean.
Yeah, it is clean.
So, also, just a little follow up on the Will Wade issue. The new athletic director is decisive. Like the last time when Will Wade got suspended, he didn't know whether to fire him, whether to keep him, and it was just a mess.
Right.
And then he had a mess with Les Miles. Should we fire him? Should we keep him? You know, they carried him off on his shoulders against Texas A&M. He changed his mind. This athletic director is decisive.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
He makes a decision and doesn't look back.
Yeah, riding the fence is, I think it's difficult for everybody.
It creates more problems.
It does.
And you know I'm a history buff too.
Really?
You know what happened on this date in 1868?
No, because I wasn't there.
Was your mother there?
No. You were in so much trouble. You better be so glad it's daylight savings time.
She's not listening. Well, actually, I was thinking about it's 100 years since WWL has been on the air.
Really?
It's the 100-year anniversary. We're going. I'll tell you. We're going.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to that.
The little get together.
Yeah.
And they're going to play snippets of things that occurred over the last 100 years. And I was going to ask your mother if she remembered when it came on the air.
So mean.
But in 1868, President Andrew Johnson was impeached. He was on this day, first day, which was the first time impeachment. Now it's used for every president now. So I think it'll probably be used for every president.
But they don't ever throw him out. They just impeach him.
They impeach him. But he was impeached by Congress, but he was not convicted by the Senate. And had to do with post-war Civil War. Well, really, the reason he was impeached is because he sent out mean tweets to the North.
He did.
Yes. If you read the backstory. Brian Altobello, my history teacher, told me this at De La Salle that
he was sending out mean notes.
He said,
via the Pony Express.
He would always say, what was the cause, and what was the significance when we write our essays in history. And he said the cause back in 1977 when he taught me sophomore U.S. history at De La Salle. He said President Andrew Johnson sent out mean tweets in social media.
I'm always amazed that you can remember what year you learned something or even what you learned.
Head full of useless knowledge.
We have Robert on the phone.
So anyway, that's just interesting, impeachment, and it from a historical standpoint, it is a political tool.
I remember being a kid and hearing it, and it was like, "Oh,
that's the hard." Yeah, that was.
And now it's like every other day.
It's every other president gets impeached now. So just because they don't like their politics, going back. All right.
With Robert.
Robert, we got Robert on the phone. Hey, Robert, you're on All Things Legal. What you got for us, brother? Good morning. What you have for us?
Well, I've lived in my house for 37 years, and I had a house after Katrina's been abandoned. And over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, 2 of their trees had fallen on my fence. So I was instructed after the last time, because of course they refused to pay, saying it was act of God. But the trees were deemed to be dead, like about 4 years ago. So I had to send them a certified letter, and they signed for it, received it. I got the notification. Well, now I understand they're selling the house. Are the new owners liable? Is that letter good for them. I mean, in other words, since it's been deemed dead and they've now been instructed any future damage from a tree on their property, they would be responsible because they know the condition of the tree. If they don't,
yeah. Well, theoretically, the new owners would have to. Your neighbor would fill out a disclosure, property disclosure in connection with the selling of his property, and I guess they would probably be duty bound to list that
to
issue.
disclose it. But my question is, if there was damages and there was never a suit, were there damages?
Has the tree fell on your fence, right?
It fell on my fence. Yeah. Well, the one tree they had in the yard fell actually on my roof and did little damage, but they refused to pay because they said it's an act of God. And then the next one, about 2 years later, actually fell over on my fence and just damaged it.
Did your
insurance there was another time when the insurance company paid me for the first one, for the roof, but didn't pay for the second one because they did say that they tried to collect from the other, that it was an abandoned house. I mean, they own it, but it's
right.
just
They didn't have insurance.
Exactly.
Right. So basically,
so is the tree still standing?
So the tree is this tree still? Do you still have a dead tree still standing?
Well, yeah. Actually, they have two more trees in front of it, like in front of my house, but they're leaning toward my roof. But the other trees were kind of destroyed. They removed them, but after the damage.
I mean,
so we do still have two more trees on that thing that's actually leaning toward my roof.
Yes, what I would do as a precaution is if you do have new owners, I would send them the same letter and informing them so that you take that issue off.
Well, they won't tell me who it is. I mean,
I would. Well, are they living at the house?
Oh no, the house is still in the same condition it was after Katrina. They still have some of the mold on the.
You can check the property records.
Yeah, you could check. What parish are you in?
I'm in St. Bernard.
Yeah, you can check the property records to see who the house is transferred to.
Yeah, you could call the assessor's office and ask, and find out who's the owner of the property.
Okay.
And they would give you the address of where they send the tax bill, which probably wouldn't be to the abandoned house.
No, and if it's like a business that bought it, it's like an LLC, then you just check the Secretary of State's website as to the registered agent of that LLC. If it was like a...
Yeah, I didn't know if they were obligated to tell the new owners about this tree.
They are. Did have... Well, they usually, if it's an abandoned house, it might be different. But usually they have a property disclosure if it's sold through a real estate agent.
Because if it was an abandoned house, you don't know if it was sold via tax sale. I mean, you don't know how the transfer took place. So I would give notice to the new owner.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, I appreciate y'all
Sure.
giving me the information.
Sure.
All
Thanks.
right.
Have a great day.
Thanks for the call. That's trees are in South Louisiana.
I know there are. You would think, especially when I was in law school. I remember they paid. It was so much emphasis on trees, and I remember thinking, why are we spending so much time on trees? And then when you get out in the real world and you practice, also common walls. I remember spending a lot of time on common walls.
Well, Uptown has a lot of common walls.
And the French Quarter has a lot of common
walls.
Right,
absolutely. So that was always a interesting application how you deal with that, especially when you had repairs and that sort of thing. All right, well, let's go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, All Things Legal. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
Lots of debate right now about what conservatives stand for. To me, it's simple. Family, free enterprise, less government. Yes, I'm a true conservative who stands on the principles our nation was built on. But I've never...
Okay, no callers at the moment.
I've said it 1,000 times and I'll say it again. All politics are local. We all want the same things. A safe place to live, work, and raise our families.
Leaders Lead. Noel Norman, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. weekdays on WWL.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers with Windows 11 Pro and get an easy start to your workday. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
This tax filing season could be one for the record books. There are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table, and Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you get every one you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, taking classes, and so much more. Don't leave thousands on the table. Jackson Hewitt will make sure you get credit for all you do and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more and find your nearest location at jacksonhewitt.com.
Bobby Aber, KJ Cannon here. It's the Conference Championship Week in college basketball, and FanDuel Sportsbook has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can place their first college basketball bet risk-free, and if you don't win, you'll get up to $1,000 back. Best college basketball any way you like. Take a chance at same-game parlay bet. Jump into the action with live betting. And if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, now's the perfect time to give it a shot. The app is so easy to use, they're always hooking you up with great odds. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Not number 2 or number 3, #1. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and sign up with the promo code ABEAR, that's HEBERT, to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. That's ABEAR.
Okay, last spot in this set is Duck, Duck, Go.
21 plus and present in Louisiana. Permitted parishes only. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-770-STOP.
Are you getting the runaround from your Hurricane Ida insurance company?
Is your insurance company not returning your call?
Are you being denied a new roof?
Are you receiving lowball payments from your insurance company?
We can help. Call me, Doug Sunseri, WWL radio host and attorney at Nico and Sunseri Law Firm in Metairie, or go to our website at idahurricaneclaim.com.
Or on the North Shore, call me, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, at our office in Mandeville at 985-624-9697. We'll show the insurance company who's boss.
Good news for soon-to-be engaged couples and anybody who loves extraordinary jewelry. Oakland Heart recently received 2 first-place National Design Awards from the American Gem Trade Association. Still, while national awards are nice, you know what means more? Once again being voted Best Local Jeweler by the readers of Gambit. The best jewelry, customer experience, and prices can be found local. Come in and see for yourself. There's a great work of art in every box from Oakland Heart on Metairie Road.
Are you a business owner doing your own bookkeeping? Why? It makes no sense, literally. Focus on what you do well, like growing your business, and let Accounting Services Unlimited handle your bookkeeping. Hi, this is Thomas Fontes. Accounting Services Unlimited is insanely affordable and will come to you. Call for a free quote. Accounting Services Unlimited, 504-717-6253. That's 717-6253. Or visit us at asu-llc.com.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 475-2323.
LA 121 12674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Call 475-2323.
Where do you go when you want to sell gold or silver bullion?
CausewayCoinCo.com.
I didn't feel so well.
Okay, here we go.
I searched my symptoms on Google, and now I'm being followed by uncomfortable ads. I hate feeling like my personal data is being bought and sold. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy with DuckDuckGo.
Now, more All Things Legal, underwritten by Nico and Sunseri Law Firm. All advice given and opinion shared are solely those of attorneys Albert Nico and Doug Sunseri. Back to WWL.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri. Michelle Demarest Sunseri, All Things Legal. Give us a call, 260-1870 on the Oakland Heart Talk and text line, or you can also text us. And we're talking a little bit about contractors. And I just wanted to remind people, and Albert's very good at reminding people, is when you hire a contractor, please be sure they're licensed in Louisiana. They have insurance, because you can run into a lot of problems. We've had several claims where uninsured contractors, or first of all, if they don't do the work correctly, they're not going to be held accountable with the licensing board in Baton Rouge, or they can't. Or they could, but it's too late. They don't have any They could, but it would be after the fact. The second part is if they're not licensed, if they're not insured, and a worker gets hurt on your property, you're going to be liable for the injuries in workers' comp, which could be very, very expensive, especially if you have a roofer. Roofers it's dangerous, and they have a high occupationally. They have a high incidence of injury. And if they get hurt and the contractor does not have insurance, then the homeowners actually their employer and responsible for their medical bills and lost wages.
That's what I think a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah, I mean we've had several cases where we had undocumented workers who used fictitious names who was hurt, and they sued the homeowners. And the homeowners were looking at a 6-figure liability.
Right. And like Fred was saying earlier, you can have a contractor who hires a sub say that they're going to cover them under the work comp, but you need to make sure that you've seen that they are listed, because somebody can say that, oh, I'll cover that, that
Right.
sub under my work comp. And unless you've seen that they have been added to the policy, if something happens and you go to invoke that policy and they're not listed, then it falls and then it's onto the homeowners.
And what you should ask the contractors for a certificate of insurance to make sure. And then if you wanted to follow up, you call the insurance agency and say, I'm a homeowner. I've got a certificate of insurance from your firm. I wanted to verify that, ABC contractors still have insurance.
Right. And that they're covering,
I have
XYZ.
Bob from Mid-City wants to talk about public adjusters.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Bob. He's got a question regarding public adjusters. Hey, Bob, you on All Things Legal. What can we do for you, brother?
All right, good morning. Thank you for your help. I got a situation that with a public adjuster, and I know I'm not the only one, that when I initially started my claim with State Farm, I gave my statement, and they started my claim, and they paid me for a few things, not exactly what I had replacement coverage, and they paid me some, and then on my roof, which was the most damage I had, they said I had no damage. And I kind of got stonewalled from the insurance company for like 6 weeks and all. So in the meantime, to stop further damage, I had my roof, covered from FEMA with the blue tarp. Well, to make a long story short, is the roofer they didn't have any movement with the insurance company, so he recommended a public adjuster. The public adjuster came out and started my claim, and he wasn't, he really, since the hurricane till now, I'm finally getting his report, but I never did get a price from the roofing contractor or from him what it would cost. It looks like they tripled the amount for a 1,800 square foot house. They on his report, they saying that they want to pay. It's going to cost $23,000 to replace my roof, which I know is really triple what it really costs. And they also in the report when they came out and did the damage survey, that they want to redo the whole inside of my house. In other words, but the total claim now, what they say they want to try to get from the insurance company is like $100,003.
Okay, well, and that's why a lot of these claims get hung up. First of all, a public adjuster is supposed to quantify the damages.
Right.
But the downside of public adjusters, they really don't have an enforcement mechanism. If you submit the estimate and the insurance company says no, and they say, well, okay, what do you do next? Now, one of the problems is if you, there's 3 buckets of an insurance claim when you negotiate one. One, there's one bucket that all parties agree this is the damages. Okay. And you agree on the scope and prices. One bucket is, hey, this is pre-existing issues. They were here before the hurricane, have nothing to do with the hurricane. They're not covered by the insurance policy. Then there are some issues in between, which is in a third bucket. It could go either way. Do I replace the floor or do I clean the grout? Do I replace the sheetrock or do I disinfect it? Do I replace my air conditioner or do I have to get it repaired? Does the roof need to be replaced or does it need to be repaired? All those type of issues. And, those can go either way. Now, the problem is, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. We tell our contractors to put in their estimate anything that they can defend in good faith. In other words, if you can make a good faith argument that this is damage, you put it in. If you can't, do not. Now, what a lot of public adjusters do, some, not lots, some will put things that may or may not be in there to get that high number. But what happens is, if you hang the meat too high, the insurance company's not going to jump, and they're just going to deny the claim. And so you got to hang the meat low enough where they'll jump, but high enough where that you can negotiate. And so it sounds like sometimes there's damages that homeowners doesn't see, that you didn't see, that's there. If they're putting damages that don't exist, I would fire them with cause. Right. And get somebody in there who'll give you a good faith estimate. Because when you have a good faith estimate, the insurance companies will deal with you. I know after Katrina, we had our contractor Kevin, who's he had we instructed him. We said, look, put what's good faith damages in there. And we went through a couple of thousand claims with insurance companies. Even though they had disagreements, we were not out of the ballpark, and they would deal with this in trying to resolve the claims once they were in litigation. The ones that didn't get resolved and went for years and years and years are the ones that had these outrageous estimates that were not anywhere near the scope of damages. So, you just, like I said, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. And I would, if he's putting damage in there that's not damaged, or you ask him, show me where this is damaged. If he tells you something like, well, we just put it in there just to get it up, you fire him because it's going to mess up your claim. In fact, the insurance companies, they'll use that as a defense, saying these guys, the homeowner is trying to defraud us. And it makes it hard to prosecute your claim once you have that hung on you.
Well, the situation that brings it, why I brought this up was because I'm in a situation now where if I agree to this bogus, I think I'm calling it bogus, to all what he's asking for, which is nowhere near what it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to go get this notarized, and I'm testifying that I'm agreeing with, and. Yeah, I don't want to get involved.
No, I would terminate him, and I would get someone else out there.
Okay, so now now he done held me up really 3-4 months, and this is the first time I'm getting any real numbers to submit. The insurance company knows that I hired a public adjuster.
Right.
So I fired this guy. Next thing now I got to pay. He's going to sue me for his services, which he hasn't done anything but hurt me.
Well, anybody can sue anybody, but if he gave you a bogus estimate, what I would do is I would have him come over and say, look, show me where these damages are. Okay. Mm-hmm. And if he gives you an explanation that these might be legitimate damages, then maybe you could submit them. But if he tells you something to the fact that we just put this in here in order to get the number up, you fire him on the spot. Because at that point, you don't have any obligation to pay him for his services if he was conducting your estimate in a fraudulent manner. Right. He's got zero. So that would be my advice.
I had called the insurance company when this started to get drug out. They said, well, we see you hired a public adjuster. I said, yeah. I said, but I just want to know, I'm working on my app that shows claims submitted. The roofer hasn't submitted anything to you. They said, no, we're waiting on a report from the roofer. So, but in the meantime, FEMA came out and blue topped on my roof. So she's telling me, well, go get another estimate from another roofer. We're not supposed to really be talking to you. Get another estimate from a roofer. I said, Miss, my roof's all covered right now, and it's secure. What, I got to get them to pull everything off just to submit enough,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would do that. I'd get your adjuster, ask them to point out the damages. If you feel it legitimate, submit it. If they're not, just tell them, send him on his way, and get help somewhere else. All right, my man.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, All Things Legal. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
WWL is your home for LSU baseball. Catch the Tigers versus the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats today at Alex Box Stadium. Pre-game 12:30, first pitch 1 o'clock on WWL, AMFM.com, and the Odyssey app.
This is Scoot. Was your Hurricane Ida insurance claim denied, delayed, or underpaid? Galindo Law is ready to help. Call 504-800-0000. You paid your premiums. Your business was damaged. You should get what you deserve, right? Call Galindo Law, 504-800-0000. It's a free no-risk consultation, and there are no fees or costs if no recovery. Call 24/7, 504-800-0000.
Paid spokesperson case may be referred. David Buckley, Baton Rouge, LA 22-12939.
People come into Diamonds Direct and they can't believe what we've brought to New Orleans. A totally new concept in jewelry shopping with wall-to-wall diamonds and designer rings at prices you never thought possible. But what people like here just as much is our after-the-sale added value. See, at Diamonds Direct, you will never pay to repair any jewelry purchased here. Never, ever. Repairs and maintenance are free. What other stores charge you for, Diamonds Direct gives you free. Ring sizing free. Rhodium finish free. New prongs free. Appraisal free. Need a stone tightened? No charge at Diamonds Direct. Even if you accidentally knock out an accent diamond, we will replace it at no charge. And while other jewelry stores require you to have your jewelry constantly inspected to keep a warranty intact, at Diamonds Direct, inspections are not required. Bottom line, we stand behind what we sell, so you can buy with total confidence. Diamonds Direct, New Orleans' direct diamond importer, where the best value price is just the beginning. In a beautiful showroom on Severn Avenue across from Lakeside Mall.
Bobby Hebert, KJ Cannon here. One of the things I love about betting my favorite sports is that I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine prop bets from multiple games and now even multiple sports. It's called Same Game Parlay Plus, and you can only find them on FanDuel. Combine NBA player props you love with your favorite NHL scores for a chance to score an even bigger payout. If you don't want to build your own Same Game Parlay, check out their popular Same Game Parlay section, where you can join the bets other users are jumping on. For instance, just look last month, over 14,000 customers won a total of $1.1 million during the Bucks at Lakers game. And if you're new to FanDuel, sign up with the promo code ABEAR, that's HEBERT, to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000.
All right, the last spot in this set is a Babel spot.
The promo code ABEAR.
We will be learning Norwegian.
Official partner of WWL Radio.
21 plus and present in Louisiana. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP. If you have Medicare, you deserve the best care and coverage available. But how do you know if your Medicare plan offers the quality you need? Check their Medicare star rating. The higher the stars, the better the quality. And People's Health has earned Medicare's highest rating, 5 out of 5 stars for 2022. Don't take my word for it. Take Medicare's. To learn more about People's Health Medicare plans, call 1-855-821-2666 or visit peopleshealth.com.
Hi, this is Scooch. Was your Hurricane Ida insurance claim denied, delayed, or underpaid? Galindo Law is ready to help you. Call 504-800-0000. Galindo Law knows you paid your premiums, your home was damaged, you should get what you deserve, right? Call Galindo Law at 504-800-0000 for a free no-risk consultation. There are no fees or costs if no recovery. Call 24/7, 504-800-0000.
Paid spokesperson case may be referred. David Buckley, Baton Rouge, LA 22-12939.
30 years ago in the Brooklyn neighborhood of Crown Heights, a car accident set off 4 days of unrest. 2 people died, hundreds were arrested. I'm Collier Meyerson, and my new show, Love Thy Neighbor, explores what came to be known as the Crown Heights Riot. It's a story about New York's first black mayor, the rise of Rudy Giuliani, and the Lubavitch Jewish and Caribbean communities sitting at the center of it all. You can listen to new episodes of Love Thy Neighbor every week wherever you listen, or you can binge the entire series exclusively on Odyssey.
Hey, you! Ever wanted to learn a new language, like French or Spanish, or even Norwegian, but thought it'd be too difficult or time-consuming? If so, it's time to try Babbel. Babbel lets you customize how and when you learn. Quick 10-minute lessons on words,
Siesta.
Babbola, phrases and grammar,
Lås deg en kaffe.
to games that keep it exciting. Listen to podcasts on the go or take live online classes with a real teacher.
Hola clase, ¿cómo están?
It's really up to you. In no time, chatting about real-life topics will feel, well, effortless. Go ahead, see where Babbel takes you. Ah, Paris! More ways to explore, more ways to learn. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
All things legal with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nico on WWL and Odyssey Station. Connect now on the York Winhart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, all things legal. Michelle, while we're taking a break, I got a traffic report.
Oh, from
Albert's. Yes, just in case, if you knew, just tuned in, Albert's not here because he's throwing his annual St. Patrick's Day party because he lives right off the parade route. And he hadn't been here, hadn't occurred for 3 years, but so on is annual when there's not COVID. And so typically what happens on the morning of, his whole street is blocked because of the alcohol deliveries from the trucks. So the alcohol deliveries are completed, traffic is flowing, and Albert is fully stocked.
There you go.
So we just want to re-urge, just if you see him, you see his house, just walk in. Use the bathroom. He got great food too.
Does he get it catered or they cook?
Oh, he's a great cook. I mean, he's got it all covered. So you tell me you're a listener, and you're there. So there you go. We also, we're talking. I guess we've been dominated by insurance claims, and the other side of it is, which we don't talk about, which a lot of people in the insurance industry talks about. It's not a time to cash in, for extra damages that you don't have. And I think a lot of what happens is you do have a percentage of the people a small percentage who file fraudulent type claims. And I've had people who've come back to me 3 and 4 times trying to collect on the same damage that they didn't repair from the prior storm.
And had gotten money for?
Yeah. And we see it, and once we get a handle on that, obviously we send them away. But what happens is that's what's one of the reasons the insurance companies scrutinize these claims a little bit more, is because of the people who do commit, who submit these estimates that are, just totally bogus.
Right.
And, so as we explained it before, I think where the negotiation comes in. Now, the problem is a lot of the insurance companies aren't engaging in negotiations. And unfortunately, once you get them in the litigation phase, they have to negotiate, right, and they have to deal with it. And, most of the judges will have a system in place where he's going to get the parties together before it goes too far in litigation to try to resolve it.
You hope.
Well, St. John Parish is doing it, and some of the, I know the retired Judge Wilkerson. I'm sure Judge North, magistrate judge, in Eastern District Federal Judge, magistrate in New Orleans, will do it again.
Right.
Where you have a system in place where before you do go through the litigation process or all through the discovery, that the parties meet. And I would say when we did over 1,000 mediations at MAPS for Katrina, And we settled all but 3, I think.
Well, isn't MAPS doing the
With-
under $50,000 claim
with
with the insurance company?
They're also doing with that the program with the insurance commissioner. And so if you get the parties together and engage, you will settle the claim. But there's 3 aspects of the claim. There's one part where everybody agrees, yes, you're damaged there, and you have a consensus on what the pricing is and the scope of damages. Then you have another part, well, no, this has nothing to do with the hurricane. But this third bucket is the one where you negotiate. And with the insurance companies, a lot of them do in that middle bucket, they give 0 to the homeowner. They're saying, well, if it's, we're just not going to give any consideration of that at this point. Now, when you get into the litigation, let's say, and I'm going to make it very simplistic. Let's say you have a $100,000 claim. 20,000 of it is in that bucket that everyone agrees. Then there's another 10,000 that everyone agrees shouldn't be in there because it's not hurricane related. Then you have 70,000 of it in there, which can go either way. The insurance company has an argument as to why they shouldn't pay. The homeowner has an argument as to why they should pay. And what happens in mediation is that $70,000 bucket is usually is the area of negotiation. Right. Sometimes you might sell it for 35, 40, 45, depending on the specific facts and the specific circumstances. Now, one of the things you can do as a policyholder is a lot of insurance companies do have time limitations to respond to a proof of loss. In other words, if you quantify the damages, and we quantify the damages using the same computer program as the insurance company, so they fully understand it. They got 30 days to pay what's undisputed. So if you pay let's say the insurance company paid $20,000, and you submit a Xactimate program with pictures showing that your damages are 100. I'm making it very simplistic. Well, the insurance company has to take that estimate of 100 and see which portion they're not disputing. So if they don't dispute $20,000 of that estimate, they have to come up with another $20,000 within 30 days. And if they don't, then a law kicks in saying they could be in bad faith and they could be liable for penalties and attorney's fees.
How often do they just stick with their original? Like let's use your numbers, and they originally said.
I will.
What they said 20 of yours was already their original 20.
Depending on the insurance company, some of them are paying supplements, and they're paying, supplements. Some are not, and just saying, we're not going to do anything until we're sued. I don't want to say which one it is. Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes may know who it is. I'm referring to. No, I mean, there's some that take a harder line. And basically, it's homeowner attrition. And they don't put this in the minutes of their board meetings, but I know it's true. I was there. And what they're thinking is, if you deny, that a lot of claims will fall off, and that they will have some claims standing, but they'll say, we'll deal with the claims standing in the back end because we might get hit a little bit, but what fell off had a greater economic benefit to us than the ones that are still standing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's, is it by design or not? I mean, that's for someone else to argue, but it seems to work that way. And so you're just going to have to, some insurance companies aren't going to deal with you until you get in the litigation phase. Some are a little more proactive. Some, some of them with the smaller claims want to try to resolve it now, because if it goes to litigation, it's going to cost them more to defend it than just deal with it in a fair manner now. But it's all economics, and that's what you have to deal with. All right, we're going to go to our final break. Demarest Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri. All things legal. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
WWL is proudly sponsored by Anajar and Levine Hurricane Attorneys. Denied claim, not paid enough?
We may be able to help.
Call
Okay, I have Mac holding on. He has a question about money
Many have tried.
and accounts.
There's no
And
better way to
you'll
say I
have
love you
in the
than
neighborhood
with
of
a pair
5
of
minutes.
diamond stud earrings from Oakland Heart Jewelers. Let
His name
me
is
read you
Mac
this online review
from
from
Kenner, and he has a question about
purchased an absolutely beautiful pair of
money
diamond
in
stud
a
earrings
PayPal
today at
account.
Oakland Heart. They treated me like a superstar. The thing is, the diamond stud earrings that come in a box from Oakland Heart, they're each a true work of art. An Oakland Heart family member personally searches through hundreds of diamonds and
DuckDuckGo is
chooses
the last
only
one
those
in
with
this
the
set.
most fire and brilliance. Don't think for a minute that all diamonds are alike. Ours really sparkle, and you don't need a loop to see the difference. Plus, we buy direct, so we bring you the best for less. And no matter how much you want to spend, we have a huge selection of diamond studs to choose from, in every price range, second to none. For birthdays, anniversaries, or just because, come see us at Oakland Heart Jewelers on Metairie Road.
Attention, BetMGM customers. Have a friend who loves sports as much as you do? Here's a chance for both of you to earn a $50 bonus when they sign up through BetMGM's Refer a Friend program. Just sign into your BetMGM account and click on to the Refer a Friend program to send your friend a message inviting them to register a new account in the same state you use BetMGM in. Once your friend signs up and makes a deposit, they'll receive a $50 bonus. And once your friend places a bet with their bonus and the wager is settled, you'll receive a $50 bonus as well. Share the excitement of BetMGM and get a $50 bonus. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions.
Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Louisiana only. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable site credit. Site credit expires in 30 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 in partnership with Samstown Shreveport Casino.
Hey y'all, spring's on the way and you're ready to celebrate. Hit the road and find a festival. March 11th through 13th, Independent Sicilian Heritage Festival. March 12th through 13th, Wanderfest in New Orleans and Los Ileños Fiesta in Chalmette. March 12th, Spring Street Festival in New Roads and Celtic Bayou Festival in Lafayette. March 17th through 20th, Louisiana Crawfish Festival in Chalmette. So make your plans to laissez-les bon temps rouler.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Plan your road trip at LouisianaIsATrip.com.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers with Windows 11 Pro and get an easy start to your workday. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast, free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
You probably wouldn't leave thousands of dollars on the table at a diner. Why leave thousands on the table with your tax return? Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you don't. This year, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits. Your Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help you track down every last one, so you get your biggest refund guaranteed. Don't leave thousands on the table this year. Discover thousands of dollars in tax credits instead. Learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
I bought football tickets for my husband.
Here we go.
Now I'm in a football bubble. All I see online are articles and ads about football. I hate feeling manipulated. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and I saw a difference right away. Get privacy online with DuckDuckGo.
All things legal on WWL. Consult with Nico and Sunseri now on the Oak Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870. And don't forget to rewind on the Odyssey app.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, all things legal. If you can't get to us on the phone, you can call us at our office at 504-837-1304 in the North Shore, Michelle.
985-64-9697.
All right, let's go to phone lines. Let's go to Mac. Hey, Mac, you're on All Things Legal. What can we do for you, brother?
Hey, I have something just a little bit different. I had a cousin who lived the last few years of her life in Arizona, but she was a Louisiana girl through and through. She took Louisiana to Arizona, crawfish boils, gumbo, king cakes, the whole 9 yards. She passed away, and her daughter wanted to have some Louisiana-themed things at her repast, so she attempted to PayPal me $1,000 to buy a bunch of pralines that she was going to serve at the repast. some way or another, the PayPal money didn't come to my wife's PayPal account. It went to somebody else with my wife's name at another PayPal account.
Mm-hmm.
She has played heck, her daughter has anyway, trying to get that money back. PayPal has been no help. She sent the money via American Express, and American Express has been no help.
Yeah.
Do you know anything that she could conceivably do to recover that money?
Well, American Express wouldn't dispute the transaction for you?
So far, they haven't.
Are they still in the dispute phase, or have they come out with a finding?
I think it's still in a dispute stage, but they've been pretty adamant that they take the stance that there's nothing they can do. It was sent, and they've not been a big help.
What parish are you in?
I'm in Jefferson, but the money was actually sent from Arizona.
All right. Well, but
to
it wasn't.
me.
Okay. It's I guess your relative is out the $1,000. Is that correct?
Right. That's correct right now.
See, if she was in Louisiana, what I would say is you could even go to the small claims court and sue PayPal. And what would happen is if you went to the small claims court, and it would cost them more than $1,000 to hire a lawyer to deal with it.
What about going or recommending going to the Department of Banking for the state of Arizona?
Yeah, that's
and making a complaint.
Okay.
I would suggest that.
I'll suggest that to her then.
Suggest that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
right now,
I bought, and I was just telling you, I bought a computer from a national company once, and then when it got out the box, it didn't work, and I couldn't get anybody on the phone, and I sued them in, the small claims court, and they paid me, and they paid my court costs because it was going to the attorney they hired it was going to cost them more to read the file than what we were fighting over. It was $1,200-$1,300.
Okay.
So that's one way.
Okay, I'll
Department of Banking. I'm sure Arizona might even have a little small claims court like we do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll suggest both of those potential actions to her because you're right.
3 minutes.
It costs more to try to fight it than it would be to go ahead and settle it.
Yeah, and when you have
look, I appreciate that.
Yeah, when you have these small claims courts, all you do is walk in and you fill out a little form. You give it to them. You just have to get the service information, which would be in the Secretary of State's. They'd have an agent for service process, and they'll have to respond, and so that would be a good way of dealing with it.
Okay, all right, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks for the call. All right, we've got about 2 minutes now. A lot of people were probably tuning in, and they're like, "Why is the show over so early?" Because they still think it's 8:57 instead of 9:57.
You think people do that even with their cell phones?
Some.
Oh.
Some do. But man, it sort of like rocks your world though, because
it's rocking my world right now.
I know. We had a late night last night.
Have a late night.
We were late just without the losing the hour.
Oh, absolutely.
Coming from the Sanger.
Well, late for us.
Late for us, yes. Well, we can stay out late now. We don't have any kids at home, so we can.
Yeah, but it probably wasn't late for a lot of people.
No. Yeah, that was 12. What 12 after 12 is late for us. Yeah. But anyway, so we'll but this it is what it is. Why don't they just keep it the same all year?
What would you like? Would you like it to be?
I like more light in the evening.
The only problem with that is, I'm a runner, and so when I get up in the morning in summer, I'm running in total darkness. Where in the winter, at least I'm.
I like when the sun goes down at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not daylight's daylight. It's
yeah.
light.
I get you.
That's profound, huh?
That is profound.
But yeah, I don't know. I just like.
Well, it's because we get out of work so late, so you have something. You have some little bit of daylight left.
Right. You can do some things. So, all right. Well, that is a wrap. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you.
And for all the other listeners whose name ends in a vowel, happy St. Joseph's Day coming.
Was that?
That's the 19th, I think.
Oh.
So that's coming up.
They were having the parade last night, huh? Was that?
No, I guess the parade's next week.
Oh.
I'm not sure. We went down on that side of Canal Street.
No.
So, All right, so we'll see you next week. Thank you for waking up,
You're
and especially on not a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
And so we'll see you next week on All Things Legal. Be good. Have a wonderful week.